Welcome back to an episode of Budget Bombs. I'm your host, Blaine Fontaine, and we're going to go into another 10 super awesome cards that I totally play, and that are good. And you should be playing them too, because they're good. We're going to kick it off with a cool one, Mercadia's Downfall. For 3 mana instant, attacking creatures you control get +X/+O until end of turn, where X is the number of non-basic lands defending player controls. This is absolutely amazing for any go wide deck. Unless you're fighting a table of all monocolor decks, you're going to get some insane value out of this thing. Even like 3+ colors, man, you're hitting this turn 6. They have 4, 5 non-basics because they're a tricolor deck, quadco, whatever. Jeez, it's 5-0 to your whole team at instant speed. I will swing with my 6/1/1s. Oh, what's that? No blocks? Well, I guess you're dead. Next up, we got Rakdos Charm for, well, Rakdos. Instant, choose one. Exile all cards from target player's graveyard. Destroy target artifact, where each creature deals 1 damage to its controller. Yes, a lot of the charms are good, but this one is my favorite. You'll basically never play a game where someone isn't going wide, has a problematic artifact, or has a problematic graveyard. These are incredibly common archetypes, and it can answer all of them. Plus, like, if they're going wide enough to have an army of dudes, you can just outright kill someone with this card. And 2 mana kill player at instant speed, that's pretty neat. Now we got Dawn Charm for 1 and a white. You get an instant with choose one. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Regenerate target creature or counter target spell that targets you. It's no surprise that I like modality on my cards, especially if all 3 of the modes are helpful. I mean, the first mode is just a fog, which, yes, for 2 mana is quite a lot, but it's modal. So you can fog to prevent someone from alpha striking you out of the game with some crazy stuff. You can protect your creature with regenerate. And the coolest one, you can counter a spell in mono white, and the only condition is that it targets you. They cast Crackle with power to kill the table. Nuh-uh, the mighty mono white deck. Counter spell. Didn't see that coming. Also, the reason I said that would is because that and wood don't have a space between it. So, it's a funny typo. Oh. Next up we have Decimate for 2 red-green sorcery. Destroy target artifact, target creature, target enchantment, and target land. Now, I'm not a big, fan of blowing up people's lands, but some lands are just problematic. Nykthos, Cabal Coffers, Reliquary Tower. These are all problematic lands that deserve to be sniped. I'm not going to snipe your basic, come on. The cool thing about this card, though, is that it's a 4-for-1, and the only downside is that you have to have all the targets. This is not up to. So you have to have an artifact, a creature, enchantment, and a land on the battlefield at the same time. Sometimes you just gotta target your own thing. It happens. But if you want to really be that guy and you target all 4 modes in the same guy, that guy is unhappy. Almost certainly. Life Insurance is 3 white black enchantment with Extort. Whenever a non-token creature dies, you lose 1 life and create a treasure token. So this is any creature, not just yours. Whenever anyone's creature dies, you lose a life and make a treasure. If you have an artifact count deck that cares about the number of artifacts you have, you're going to get an absurd amount of artifacts. If you're worried about losing the life, just don't worry about losing the life. Whenever you cast a spell, you can pay that very treasure to drain the entire table for 1 and gain 3, even though you only lost 1. It's just really good. 5 mana is a lot for an enchantment, but if you wrath the following turn, boom, your mana's right back. and you can gain a bunch of life and drain the whole table. It's just a really solid card all around. Showdown of the Scalds is an enchantment for 2 red-white. Mode 1. Exile the top 4 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. Modes 2 and 3 are whenever you cast a spell this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. I'm a sucker for sagas. Like, anyone who knows me in person can tell you that. So this is 4 mana, basically draw 4, and then on the second and third modes, you can pump something by a counter every single spell you cast for the next 2 turns. Bruh. This is so good. Even if you played on turn 4, right? You drop a turn 4. This is the worst case scenario. You flip the top 4. Next turn, you have 4 cards you can play, including a land drop, probably. And if you have a creature like Esper Sentinel, for instance, that thing's going to get huge. No one's going to pay for that cost. That's ridiculous. Here's a simple one. Wild Growth. 1 green, enchantment aura, enchant land. Every enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds a green. Not much to say about this guy, just very, very good. Like, I would even say, unless you're playing an elf deck, better than Llanowar Elves. Like, if you slap this on a land, you can immediately tap it for 2 mana. Like, let's say, right, turn 1 you have a forest, right? Cool beans. Turn 2, you play a forest, you tap that forest, slap it on this forest, now you're net even though you spent a mana and now you're up a mana. Forget about it. It's value. Trust me. Shimmer Dragon is a 4 blue creature dragon flying. As long as you control 4 or more artifacts, Shimmer Dragon has Hexproof. Tap 2 untapped artifacts you control, draw a card, 5/6. So firstly, 6 mana 5/6 flyer, meh, not bad. Secondly, this thing is almost always hexproof if you're playing it in an artifact deck. And now you can tap your clues, your treasures, whatever, for an insane amount of cards, and the thing itself is hexproof? Suspend. 1 blue. Exile target creature and put 2 time counters on it. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. I put this card in my most recent video of best. It was best 1 mana kill spells. This card is phenomenal. Like, if you're doing it to someone's commander, they're probably not going to put it in exile unless they really don't need it for 2 turns. So you're paying 1 mana to get rid of their commander. It's exile, so it gets around indestructible. It's just like, it's just so good, honestly. Also, funnily enough, if you do it to someone's Phage the Untouchable, they kill themselves. Soul Guide Lantern is a 1 mana artifact. When Soul Guide Lantern enters the battlefield, exile target card from a graveyard. Tap, sacrifice Soul Guide Lantern, exile each opponent's graveyard. Tap 1, tap sack it, draw a card. Of all the cards on this list, this is the one I play the most. I'm a firm believer that every single deck needs at least 1 Grave Hate card, because graveyards are crazy. And this is a great way to stifle that problem. The cool thing about Soul Guide Lantern is that if no one is playing a grave deck, you're not wasting anything because you can simply just sack it and draw a card. There's never a point where this card's not great. Someone's gonna play some crazy living death? Nah, let's not have a graveyard anymore for y'all. I'll still have one, but y'all don't. That's it for my Budget Bombs video. Thanks for checking it out. Let me know in the comments if you're planning to play with any of these or currently play with any of these. I would like to see how much of a hipster I am. Oh, and have a good day.